everyone, welcome to my channel, Sophia4Christ. My name is Sophia and this channel is all about sharing my insights from the Bible so that you can be renewed and empowered to go forth and fulfill your divine purpose in Christ Jesus. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe. Okay, let's begin. Today I want to talk about living situations which no longer allow us to grow and to have peace. We can become stuck in a familiar but uncomfortable routine. However, I believe that life is just too short for you to not thrive, for us to not thrive and enjoy our lives in Christ. Let's look back at the story of the children of Israel and how they were enslaved in Egypt. You may be asking, well, Sophia, how is this relevant? Hold on, we'll get there. Just stay with me. Jacob, who was renamed Israel, he had 12 sons or 12 tribes. These became known as the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, they were all promised that they would possess this promised land. God gave them that promise. However, there was a famine, but God in His infinite wisdom, He sent Joseph ahead of them to Egypt to preserve their lives. Okay, let me ask you this. The famine in the Bible, how long did it last? Exactly 7 years. So why did the children of Israel remain so long in Egypt? Why didn't they just leave right after the famine ended? Well, the answer is that they became comfortable because they were given lands in Egypt, and Joseph was also prime minister in Egypt. However, after a time Joseph died, and so did the Pharaoh from Joseph's time. And as a result, a new Pharaoh came into power. What did that new Pharaoh do? He enslaved the children of Israel. They remained in slavery for almost 400 years until God sent Moses to liberate them and begin their journey to the promised land. However, while their physical slavery had ended as they left Egypt, the children of Israel were still mentally shackled. They were still bound to Egypt. They desired the things of Egypt. They were fearful of their freedom, and they didn't really walk in complete faith for what God had for them. So then, the children of Israel, they sinned against God. They rebelled against Him, and as a consequence, they ended up spending 40 years in the wilderness until all of that original generation from Egypt died, as well as Moses. So, you know the story. Who ended up inheriting the promised land? So who inherited this promised land? It was a new generation of Israelites who were free from the taint of physical and mental slavery that their parents suffered in Egypt. They were led by Joshua, and they went on through the grace of God to possess the promised land. Egypt was meant to be a temporary pit stop on the way to the promised land. It was not meant to become a permanent resting place. It was a temporary refuge. Let me ask you, are you trying to make a temporary situation a permanent one? What are you holding on to? Who are you holding on to? What place are you refusing to leave? Think about that. Think about these questions. You know, we always know when Jesus is telling us to leave a certain thing, person, or place. We know. However, what do? We tend to rationalize our decision to stay. We give so many excuses about why we should remain. Why we should remain as Egyptians instead of living according to our divinely appointed DNA as Israelites. As this message convicted me, I pray that it will convict you as well. Egypt is a place of initial enjoyment, but eventual enslavement. It may not be physical enslavement, but it is definitely a place of spiritual and mental slavery. Egypt will cause you to miss out on your promised land. That is your expressly, divinely appointed will of God for your life. Start to pack up your luggage and make preparations to leave Egypt. Don't try to rationalize it anymore. Just leave. Just cut off all ties and leave. Your future in Christ depends on your obedience. I pray that Jesus Christ will give us the strength, the grace, and the obedience to even follow His dictates in this season of our lives. May He enable us to make the right decisions, even when they make no sense to our understanding. But guess what? Our ways are not the ways of God. We'll never be able to comprehend the mind of Christ. Our ways are not like God's ways. His thoughts far exceed ours, as it's written in the Bible. So we will never be able to fully understand the mind of God. What He asks us to do is to move in obedience. These godly decisions are often the hardest to make, and they often require us to move in complete faith. However, I believe that these decisions will be worth it in the end. Why will they be worth it? Well, we will be walking in our divinely appointed purpose, and we will possess our blessed inheritance in Christ. I thank you for watching, and I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. It's the red button somewhere down here. Until next time, may His blessings, peace, and wisdom be upon you. Bye-bye.